Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Crimson Pharaoh, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the arena system in Epic 7, and more specifically the first, really the early game. Basically the first 2,000 points, I think, is the range. Yep, so bronze is pretty simple to get through. I'm in silver right now, silver 4, I think. So yeah, the first 2,000 points, because when you get here, you get your Moonlight Blessing thing done. I think that, or it might be gold 3, but it's not that far apart. Not so much up here. This gets much harder. Master and Challenger is a much different story than the early game, but I would consider even gold early game arena. I'm horrible about doing arena. I think most people are. I do my NPCs, I do a few arena battles, but I haven't moved out of silver, which is not really proportional to my account strength, because I've got units that can help me to get higher in arena. So I'm going to be showing off some of those today, teams that I can make, things that I would do, and suggestions for early game teams for you guys. So let's just jump into the first one. I'll do all 5, regardless of winning or losing. And the most important thing about this stuff, arena in the early game, is that you've got some sort of AoE attacker. That could be Spectre Tenebria or Arbiter Vildred. So he's in the team. The next thing you need is an attack buffer. I've got Charles here. Mercenary Helga is completely free. Also has an AoE attack buff and even an effectiveness buff as well. So Mercenary Helga can be used fine as well. So you've got your damage dealer and your attack buffer. And then I've got Clarissa here for an AoE defense breaker, because I have not built Ran yet. And you've got a couple of options for AoE decreasers. But here's his skill here. To name a few, you've got Ran, which we just had. The Tywin banner is going on right now. It just started last night, about 24 hours ago. So if you watch this video in the next couple days, the Tywin banner is going on right now. He's an AoE defense decreaser. You've got Lulica. I don't think I have anything else. But Clarissa is as well. You might have her for your Wyvern team, so she's already built. Not 100%, but it's something. It's a chance. And then your fourth one is going to be Ruzid or Judith. There isn't a whole lot else you can do here. I think Biken works, but you know, you'd have to start around the Guilty Gear collab if they're bringing it back. You'd have to start around that time. But Ruzid and Judith work fine early game. But yeah, I don't have any other units. I think Shadow Rose might. If you pull Shadow Rose, she's got kind of got an interesting skill here that I'll show off. She can go on the slot for where Ruzid would go, or your Judith. She attacks all enemies, decreasing their combat readiness by 25%, and increases the combat readiness of all allies by 25%. So this works. This is way better than the Ruzid skill, because you're actually taking combat readiness away from the enemy. You have to have effectiveness for this to work, though. But if you've got the effectiveness and you can land it, early game effect resistance is not a big thing. Everything should be landing on basically every unit except for Angelic Montmorency. So Shadow Rose is great as well for that Ruzid slot. Champion Zerato is arguably better than some of the AoE decreasers, because he's got the decrease attack as well. But he's not a 100% chance. He's a 75% chance. So yeah, you got a couple options. I don't know if he's AoE. Nope, he's single target. But yeah, there's some single target decreased defense units too that you can use. But I would recommend bringing AoE. Clarissa is probably the most free-to-play option that I can think of at the moment. So let's get this team together. The fourth doesn't really matter. Let's see, these are the core 3. You don't, like, if you don't have a set to waste or use on a combat readiness pusher, which, I need to get one on him in the next couple days here, but if you don't have that, just throw in anything else. Most teams here don't have a combat increaser, combat readiness increaser anyway. So it doesn't matter what you do. You can throw Bazaar in for that role as well. He dispels and pushes combat readiness back. So Bazaar is also really, really good against immunity, but there's not a whole lot of that up here. So I'll just put her in. She doesn't have any gear on her. I'll show off what this looks like with a unit that's just a complete waste. Furious is also great if you don't have a combat pusher, because he's increasing the crit rate of everything on the team. So Charles and Vildred and Clarissa are 100% of the time going to crit. My Charles has 91% crit rate anyway, so he's not missing too much. Clarissa's decreased defense is not consistent, but early on it doesn't matter too much. Is what it is. So we got that there. Pretty simple. Increase attack, decrease defense, AoE attack. That's really all you need early game. I'm gonna throw in Furious. It just makes more sense. He'll get that extra consistent damage. So he's a good option early on. And I think a lot of people in this area of Arena are trying to throw in units that they can't build. They're just building too much because none of this stuff is being used. Sigret is for Wyvern. Spectator and Ibria, I'm sure, is what they chose from the Moonlight Blessing. But then, Crow and I think that's Rowana sitting there. There's no gear to go on them this early in the game. Not good gear anyway. My Charles doesn't have good gear. He's more just utility. He's got 187 speed, I think. He's got high crit rate, some crit damage, and effectiveness. He's got an effectiveness ring on him because I need his dispels to land in Asmonak Hunt, which I'll be doing soon. So he's just utility. He's not even doing max damage that he could be doing potentially for Arena, if that's what you're using him for, or Guild Wars or whatever. So that was another easy one. And really all these are easy. Some of this stuff early on in the game looks kind of daunting to go up against, but it's not. If you just take a minute to think practically about what people can actually build this early on in the game, there isn't the gear to go around. There just isn't. This is half my Wyvern team, my Farmer, and then this is the first set I've been able to throw on anything else. I've got a set on Charlotte too, but it's terrible. I have so few units on this account, anything done with them at all, and this is not hard. It's really pretty simple to get this stuff. Chances are you're going to get some sort of AoE decreased defense unit early on. There aren't very many, but there's enough. Especially if you're paying money, you're getting more summons. You're getting the 5-star tickets and stuff, so you're probably going to get something usable. And if you don't give any AoE decreased defense in the entire team, just bring another AoE unit, another AoE attacker. I've got Arbiter Vildred here. Charles is AoE attacking. Clarissa's AoE attacking. Bring something that AoE attacks. Just 2 strong AoE attackers, and the healing isn't able to keep up early on. It's not hard. Sometimes you get stuck in infinite loops with Angelica early on in the game if you don't kill fast enough, and they do have enough counterattack damage. They're just dealing enough damage to you too. You can get stuck in 10-minute loops with Angelica, and basically this arena thing up here in the right corner has to just proc every single turn to kill whatever you've got left, which is probably going to be an Angelica too, or an Angelic Montmorency, something like that. That is also going to just survive forever because there's no damage output. I've seen Angelica survive against my one enemy Angelica against my Angelica and my Clarissa. Yeah, I think it was those two, Angelica and Clarissa. And Clarissa couldn't do enough damage. Not that she's built with a ton of damage on her. I need her to be fast and have effectiveness and make sure things get off in Wyvern, but you can run into some stuff like that. So check every minute that you're doing Arena, and if you get stuck in an infinite loop, Make sure you move on to the next thing faster. Don't waste any time. And you'll know you're in an infinite loop. If you go through 6 turns, you're landing a decreased defense, you're doing a bunch of damage, and the Angelica is still able to heal herself up enough, get the barrier back up, and go back up to full health, you're not going to be able to win. Even decreased defense, critical hits, you only need to see it once, and then for that Angelica to full heal you back up for you to know that it's just a waste of time to stay there. There really isn't any unit really on an arena either that is going to be an issue for you guys. Unless, Arbiters facing Arbiters can get kind of weird too with their reviving, but just be faster. Just be faster. Just farm more Wyvern. Be faster. I'm about 40 days in on this account. I'm not even able to farm that much, and it's a non-issue. The game gives you a bunch of sets. You can farm a couple speed sets, make some things happen for yourself, get speed boots. You'll get through Arena fine. And a lot of people aren't going to do it. Even people that are going to watch this video, they're going to listen to this and not do what I'm telling them to do, that they can win. Even people that take advice from YouTubers or their friends or anyone they know that plays the game, or Reddit or Discord or whatever, people just don't do what they know is going to help their account and progress faster. They'll just not do it. I don't know why. I do it too. It's a strange. I don't know why people do that. I can look inward too. I do the same stuff, and it's weird. But yeah, a lot of people aren't going to do it. What I'm saying, what other people say, and if you do it, you're going to win in arena. You're going to climb fast. It's just, super strange phenomenon. It's like a phenomenon. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but there's got to be a term for it. People just not doing what they know is going to help them. Whatever. But yeah, this is all pretty easy. Everyone's going to have a Furious. You might not have a Clarissa. Again, just any AoE decreased defense unit. If you don't have that, then an AoE attacker. If you don't have an AoE attacker, you must have a strong unit that can hit one-shot stuff, or you can bring Angelic Montmorency. That's probably going to be fast and just making sure your Vildred survives and your Vildred can do all the damage. You can do that too. It's a little slower, but you don't have to flat out cleave. You can bring some support to help you survive and get done what you need to get done. The hardest team here probably... I don't know what the hardest team probably is. I would assume the first one, just because he's got these cool banners. So let's try this stuff. This one right here. I'm a little nervous. And they don't outspeed. I can just auto this. The nice thing about Epic 7 is the AI system is pretty good. The skills that are going to be used makes actual sense. It's funny that I say that because one of the units that has the worst AI in the game is on the enemy team. It's Yufine. If she uses her third skill, probably going to one-shot something. If she uses her second skill, going to do a ton of damage to the entire team. So, she's probably going to use her... I don't know. I don't know what she's going to do. It's super weird with her. I tried using her in Banshee one-shot teams, and when it works perfectly. Because her third skill multiplier is off the charts. Just destroys everything. But when she uses her second skill, the run is over in Banshee. So yeah, she's really strong though. Yufine is crazy high attack. Just a monster, but weak, low defense, low health, and you need to build her for the attack to do the massive attack. So not the greatest in PvP, but I have used her. She can work, but yeah, it's hit or miss with her. You have to manual with her if you're in PvP. So I guess that was probably the one that looked the scariest. The backgrounds do that too, when it's this is probably someone from a higher league that just hasn't played in a while and they're dropping down, but it wasn't hard. All these fights should just be pretty simple from here on out. And as you guys can see, it doesn't really matter what team you're fighting against. You have just, I mean, whatever gear the game gives you, and you can basically win. And it's once again because people are building stuff that it doesn't make any sense. Like this Free Spirit Tieria is probably on the level 41 gear that the game gives you. It's not. It's definitely not. It's got higher health and defense than that set, but like I don't know. It's 2 units gone. Arbiter Vildred hasn't even gone yet, so whatever. He gets slayed out by Vildred here too, and I think Clarissa's gone. She's gonna heal. Let's see if we can come back. Like sometimes this stuff will happen too, but okay, kills Vildred. Vildred comes back, kills Arbiter. Arbiter comes back and kills Vildred. And we'll see if Vildred is strong enough to. We'll see if Arbiter is strong enough to kill this Rowana here. Sometimes what happens too is it'll be Arbiter against a Soul Weaver, and the Soul Weaver doesn't do enough damage to kill Arbiter, obviously, but Arbiter isn't doing enough damage back either. And so you get stuck in this infinite loop where nothing's happening, and Arbiter is just going to go through 4 turns, revive anyway, and then be fine. So we'll see here what happens. I suspect this is just a forever battle. But I'll give it 1 minute here. If you don't have Arbiter, you probably picked up Spectre Tenebria. If you didn't get her, you probably got Ruel. And then at that point, you're going to have a little trouble in early game arena. Ruel is great. It doesn't make sense to pick her over Arbiter, though. And I think Arbiter is actually better than Spectre Tenebria, but then you've got Spectre Tenebria's first skill that she can't get counterattacked, and she can hit multiple units, and so it's like... So I can understand why someone would pick Spectre Tenebria as well, because she's pretty filthy. So I don't know if I'm gonna win. We'll see. Yeah, having Ruzit on the team would be better than having Furious on the team as well. Just so you're making sure you're getting all the units going right away. Once again, if you're watching this during the Tywin banner, Tywin is a great AoE defense, decreased defense unit. He's amazing for morale in Raid. I've used him on the... I had a different account that it's like the account that I progressed the farthest on and the fastest. It was when Europe server just came out. I started an account there and did great. And I used Tywin right away. I got Vildred, and then the second unit I pulled was Tywin from some random summon or something. And his morale is super high in Raid. He's great in every single content. AoE, decreased defense. He pushes another unit on the team. He's got a health, or not an attack buff and a crit rate buff, and he pushes the combat readiness forward. He takes buffs off of enemies. He's tanky enough. He's not super tanky, but he'll do fine in PvE content. So yeah, he's great. This is a draw. But yeah, so Tywin can be really good. People are gonna say to pass on him, and maybe you should. We've had a ton of banners right now in this rotation, bunch of limiteds, bunch of really good banners. So if you're free to play, then I would just pass. But if you're willing to spend money on the game, and you do spend quite a bit of money, then if you don't have Tywin yet, I would pick him up, because there's not a whole lot of places that you can't use him. Like, you can use him in Wyvern, maybe not Wyvern 13, because then you'd have to bring a Soul Weaver as well to heal him, and then you need enough debuffs with... the other 2 units would have to be Sigret and Furious? Tywin, Angelica, Sigret, Furious. The team could work. You've got a consistent decreased defense, and you've got a bunch of debuffs with Sigret, but it might just be... You might just be creating a headache for yourself. I don't know. It could work. Anyway, yeah, that's all for for the arena stuff. Super simple. Do your arena, guys. Yeah, just do your arena. It's just there's a bunch of level 88 gear you can get. It'll probably roll bad anyway, but it's 88 legendary or epic, 88 epic equipment you can pick up. It could really help you guys out. And then you get unknown slates as well, so it's all good. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the support on all the other videos too. I really appreciate all that stuff, the likes and the comments and all that. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.